Hey, thanks for checking out my video. I'm Olivia. As you can see by the title of the video, today's video is going to be two looks using two different palettes. The first look is going to be the one you see here using the Melts Halloween Town palette. And the second look is going to be using the Christmas Town palette. So yeah, I'm excited to get into it. If you want to see two colorful looks, including how I created this look here, then just keep watching. Hello, welcome to the first look. Today we're going to be using the Melts Halloween Town palette. This is what the color story looks like. I haven't yet dipped into it, so I'm really excited to play around with it today. I'm thinking of doing something with both the blues and purples. I'm not sure yet if I want to play with the warm tones, maybe as like a pop on the lower lash line. We'll kind of see how I feel as the look comes together. But I'm just going to prime my eyes and we'll get into it. Before I start with the eye look, I'll just let you know kind of the main things that are on my face already. But I'm just using the Marc Jacobs Tantastic Bronzer. I went with this kind of purpley blush from Pat McGrath, and it's in the shade Venusian Sunrise. I feel like these types of purpley lavender shades are a little bit tricky for blush sometimes, but I really just wanted a little kiss of purple on the cheeks so it can blend into the eyeshadow, and hopefully it doesn't look like I just got smacked. And since I went for Pat McGrath for the blush, I decided to reach for this highlight as well, and this is in the shade Golden Nectar. I'm not sure if this is going to be like the final lip combo for the look, but for right now, I'm wearing Forever Walnut from Makeup Forever. And then this is actually one of my favorite lip products, especially in the winter time, but it's the Bare But There Tinted Lip Oil from Blend Bunny, and it's in the shade Love Bite. So yeah, those are the main things that are on my face. Again, I'm going to prime my eyes. I'm just going to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden, and then we'll get into the eye look. So I think I'm going to start with the shade Shriek, which I almost read as Shrek. Would not be fitting. And then I'm going to blend it out with Ragdoll, and I'm going to put those kind of in the front half, and I'll probably leave the purples for the outer half. I feel like I should mention I haven't actually seen A Nightmare Before Christmas, so part of me kind of feels like I'm cheating somehow by using these palettes. Do you think it would be worth watching at this point, or is it more of like a kid/teen movie? I don't know, I feel like I should give it a try, especially now that I'm using the palettes, but I just don't know if it'd be my kind of vibe. Anyway, I'm just going to go in with Shriek. And I'll start with just kind of stamping it and then blending it a little bit. I really hope this doesn't become a trend for me by saying this, but this is the first video I'm actually filming in a couple months. I finally just got around to posting my last video, which I filmed I think 2 or 3 months ago now. And I did have a pretty exciting life update to talk about in that video. I did introduce you to my new puppy, Atlas. So if you're curious to see him and to learn a little bit more about the process of getting a rescue, you can check out that video. And actually, since that video, I do have another exciting life update. Bradley and I got engaged, so we're very excited about that. I should probably be wearing my ring, but I feel like the ring is like an after makeup thing and not a during makeup thing. But yeah, we're very excited. We're gonna get married in September of 2026, so it's coming up pretty quickly. I was thinking about doing a chatty get ready with me type of video, like talking about the engagement and like planning a wedding and stuff. I just don't know if I have enough of like an internet presence that people care. But I guess if I feel like venting, I'll just do it anyway, because I have learned that planning a wedding can be rather stressful. Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought? Not me.
So I'm going to go in with the dark purple shade here, and it's called Bone Daddy. And I'm just going to plop that on the outer corner here. I also just put some of that shade on the lower lash line, just in the outer part here. And I'm going to blend that out with this lighter purple shade called My Bugs. I'd love to know if you've seen this movie, if you think the palettes actually like represent the movie very well, because I have no concept of what's going on. But I did really like these palettes when they came out, and I do love Melt, so I picked it up anyway, even though the IP didn't really mean much to me. So now I'm just going to go in and kind of connect the light purple with the light blue in the crease here. So as I was mentioning, it has been a couple months since I've filmed. As of right now, it's December 30th. So hopefully you see this video before February. I feel like that's a fair goal for my timeline. but I do feel like I've really used the holiday break to kind of reset and catch up a little bit. So I'm hoping this is the start of me getting back into a little bit more of a groove, because I have been missing playing around with makeup and doing more fun or creative looks. And I've missed filming silly little YouTube videos too. So yeah, hopefully it's the start of a new routine and a new era in which I have my life together. My fingers are crossed. So I want to go in with some shimmers now. I'm definitely wanting to use this purpley one here. I'm just not sure if I want to use this one because it looks like a little bit more of a turquoise color, and I really wanted to keep this like purple and blue. I think I'll just start with the purple shimmer and then see what I want to do after. And this one's called Worm's Wart. I think I'll use that all over the lid since I was wanting to do the pop of yellow or orange on the lower lash line. I don't want it to look green at all because I feel like there's going to be too much going on. But now I'm wondering if that was a mistake because I also definitely wanted the blue to show. So I think I will actually go in with a little bit of that kind of greeny shimmer. And the shade is called Mausoleum. And I'm just going to put a little bit in the very front portion here, just so it looks a little bit more seamless. I don't love it. I'm gonna kind of drag it up because I feel like I like that more when it's kind of overlapping with the blue matte we put down. I put down. We didn't do anything. This was all me. And then I'm just gonna go back in with that light blue matte just to try and re-intensify it. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more of that purple shimmer. It's almost like a pinky purple. And then I'm just going back in with the dark purple shade to re-intensify that as well. And then I'm doing one more blend with the light purple shade, but just whatever was left on the brush that I was using. I'm also going to re-intensify the purple on the bottom. And then I think I'll do a pop of that kind of goldy yellow just in the very inner portion. But I do want this to be a little more prominent. Alright, so I'm going to take some of the yellow shimmer shade here called Oogie Boogie, and I'm just going to spray my brush with setting spray just since I powdered under my eyes. And I want it to have something to stick to. And then I'll go back and forth just to make it a little bit more seamless, even though they're contrasting colors. I feel like since the yellow is a shimmer, it should still kind of work out. And then I'm going to pop some of that light blue on the inner corner. I don't think I like that decision, so I'm just going to go back in with the yellow just to re-intensify that as well. Because I feel like now it's looking a little extra green. Alright, so this is probably just going to be the eye look. It's not really looking as cohesive as I thought. I feel like the kind of purpley shimmer definitely has more of a pink hue to it. It's definitely not quite as purple as the two mattes that I used. So yeah, I feel like with the yellow as well, it feels a little bit more disjointed. But I think once I add lashes and a liner and everything, it'll come together. So I'm going to do that now and I'll be back to show you the final look. Alright, so this is the finished look. I definitely like it a lot better with the lashes on. I do feel like it came together. So I'll just go over everything I used to finish up the look. So for the lashes, I used the Lashaholic lashes in the style Glow Up. I will mention, I think they sent these to me in PR, but they are one of my favorite styles, so I do like these a lot. And then in the waterline, I decided to actually play off the kind of yellowy shade. So I went in with the gel liner from Melt in the shade Afterlife. And then for the lips, I'm pretty sure they look the same, but I did top over it with a different Blend Bunny lip oil, and this one's in the shade Ripe. So yeah, overall, I do really like how it turned out. I know I said it didn't really feel very cohesive before, but I feel like now that it's complete, I kind of like that. I do feel like it looks a little bit more interesting, but I'd also love to know what you think. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for the look using the Halloween Town palette. And now we'll jump into the second look of the video. It's time to get into look number 2. I'm going to be using the Melt Christmas Town palette today. This is what the color story looks like. I was kind of tempted to try to do a look using all or most of the shades because I really like some of the deeper colorful mattes that they have in this palette. I think they're really pretty, But now that I'm actually sitting down to do a look, I'm kind of reluctant to pair the red and the green together. I don't want the look to turn out super Christmassy, even though it's the Christmas Town palette. But I am filming this in the first week of January, so I'm kind of over the Christmassy vibes. I don't really want a red and green look. So instead, I think I might play with most of these shades over here. My plan right now is to do a red smoky eye using these shades, and then maybe smoke out the lower lash line with the purples here. And then I might do kind of like a fun pop of this kind of green. It's almost like a chartreusey shade. I might mix it with the white or maybe with this shimmer just to brighten it up, but I might do this on kind of the inner corner or the inner part of the lower lash line. So that's kind of the plan right now. Before we get into the look, I'll just go over what I have on my face already. So I'm wearing this bronzer and highlight palette from Tarte. Do not question me as to how old this is. I'll just try to show you without blinding you, but I went in with this cream bronzer, and then I mixed the two highlight shades from this side. And then for my blush, I went in with this Alva Flower Blusher from Oden's Eye, and it's in the shade Little Jasmine. And it's just this neutral kind of shade. I thought it would look really nice with a red and purple eye look. Hopefully I'm not wrong, we'll see. And then for the lips, I'll probably go in with something else when the eye look is done, but for right now, I'm just using this lip balm from NARS. Alright, so my eyes are primed and we'll just get into the eye look. I'm going to start with the shade Nightmare, which is this kind of deeper red shade, and I'm going to pack that all over the lid with this dense kind of flat brush, and then I'll blend it out with the shade Sandy Claus. Hopefully a mostly matte look isn't too boring, but this is kind of what I was feeling today. So I think it's January 6th as I'm filming this. I would love to know how your holidays were, if you had a nice Christmas, if you celebrate, if anything fun or exciting happened. I would love the hot goss. Bradley and I actually got to host Christmas Eve and Christmas Day at our house, which was really nice, especially since it's the first year that we have our son, our puppy Atlas. It was just really nice to be home Christmas morning and watch him tear open his presents. We really love hosting at our place. I'm definitely more of a homebody, so it was really nice for me. So I did take the two red shades and mixed them when I was in the crease, but now I'm taking just the lighter red shade to blend it out a little bit more. My only concern with this is I don't want it to turn into like a pinky red. That's not really the vibe. But so far it looks not bad. I'm going back in with just the Nightmare shade now, just to re-intensify the darkness on the lid. And then I'm going to mix the two reds again when I go back in the crease to try and make it a little more seamless. This isn't much of a blending brush, so I'm kind of just trying to stamp it for now. And then I'll go in with this brush, which is a little bit more fluffy. Really like how dramatic that is. I'm just gonna do the other eye and then we'll get into the lower lash line. All right, so this is where we're at so far. I don't think the look is perfect. I feel like there are some areas that I can blend a little bit more, but it's not looking bad, so I don't want to mess with it too much now. I might try to fix it a little bit later. I will say, I feel like the Nightmare shade is almost like, not really true red, but it's almost like a really deep wine or burgundy color. And I feel like because of that, it'll go really well with the purples. I mean, I wasn't really too concerned anyway, since I was going to do the look the same way, but I feel like it might look a little bit more cohesive than what I was expecting. So I'm excited to do the lower lash line. I think to start, I'm actually going to go in with an eyeliner in the waterline. This is from Urban Decay. It's in the shade Voodoo. Like everything I use on my channel and everything in my collection, this is very old. I don't know if they make this shade anymore, but I'm going to use it today. So I'm just going to go in the waterline and kind of between the lashes. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Christmas Town on a pencil brush, and I'm going to top that over the eyeliner and then smudge it out. And I'm just going back in and really trying to pack that shadow on because I want the lower lash line to be really smoky. So now I'm going to take the shade Bony Fingers on a slightly fluffier brush, and I'm going to blend out that first purple shade. This is more of a satiny shade, but I think that'll be fine. So I'm just blending this out a little bit more with the brush that I was using with Sandy Claws, the lighter red. There's not really much of anything left on it. I just wanted something a little fluffier to blend this out more. We're looking quite grungy. I just feel like I'm gonna need a bolder lash with this, but I think I'll do the inner corner first. Actually, before we get into the inner corner, I think I'm gonna use this purpley shimmer shade. I'm just gonna take some on my finger and just smudge that for a little extra dimension on the lower lash line. I feel like that's really pretty. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it has like really pretty like greenish blue sparkles in it. I think that's a really nice shade. I'm just getting a little messy with it on the lower lash line. I mean, since we're going for a grungy look anyway, just may as well. All right, so my initial plan for the inner corner was to go in with this shade and maybe mix it with the white shade to make it brighter. I'm also kind of eyeing the shimmer. I am worried about the green shade being a little too contrasting with the look, but I also feel like it'd be fun to try and capture the essence of this palette and the color story. So let's just go for it. And this shade is called Eureka. And I'll start with that one to see if we do need to brighten it up, which immediately I'm thinking yes. This isn't quite as bright as I thought it would be on the eyes, but that's okay. It is a really fun shade. So now I'm just going in with the white shade, and it's called No One's Dead. I wonder if I should have mixed them on my brush and not on the eyes, but I feel like this is working fine. I mean, it is a light green shade, so it was gonna look weird regardless. I feel like that was the point. And I feel like I will try and top that off with this shimmer shade here, and this is called Experiments. Yeah, I feel like adding the shimmer shade makes it all just look a little bit smoother. So I'm happy with that decision. I'm actually taking that shimmer shade on a pencil brush just to diffuse it out a little bit more. And I'm not going to be mad if the shimmer kind of layers over the lid shades. Yeah, I don't know if I'm sold on the inner corner. I feel like if I did an all like red or berry look or an all purple look and then the greenish inner corner, I feel like it would have looked a lot cooler. I don't know if I love it with what I've done, but I mean, it's already in my face, so we're just gonna go with it. And I feel like everything always comes together when we add a big lash anyway. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find a lash, I'll find something to put on my lips, and then I'll come back to finish up the video. So this is the final look. I feel like the lashes and the lips, it really kind of brought everything together. I'm liking the pop of green on the inner corner now. I actually really love how this turned out. I'm really into the grungy vibes. I'm loving the deep smoky eye with the shimmer on the lower lash line and the vampy lip. I feel like it really came together. I feel like a bad bitch, and I feel like that's always a good outcome when I do my makeup. The lashes are kind of hanging on by a thread. I did spend too long looking for a lip, so the glue kind of dried. So if you think you see the lash trying to fly away, no you don't. Just ignore it. But for the lashes, I'm using the Pure and Raw Beauty Kristi Can't Be Bothered style. If you remember this collab coming out, it might be time for an eye cream. I feel like I can make the same joke in every video because I use stuff that's so old. This was actually the first time I used them today. I had to trim them for the video, so shame on me, but also good for me for finally using my stuff. For the lips, I feel like this combo was actually a really good match, so I'm pretty proud of myself. But I'm using the Lippie pencil from ColourPop. And this is in the shade CD. It's from their, I think, Plush collection. It was kind of like a 90s vibe, if I'm not mistaken, but that's what I'm wearing for the lip liner. We seem to have a runaway lash here. And for the lipstick, I actually had the lipsticks that came with the Melt collection. So I used this really dark kind of purpley one today, and this one is in the shade Lock, Shock, and Barrel. And look how cute that packaging is. Look at it.
Would you look at this?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was pretty much everything I used today. Again, I really like how the look turned out. I'm really into the grungy, vampy vibes, but I'd love to know what you think. Do you like how the look turned out? Would you have done something different? And if this look, or maybe the first look, was your favorite, let me know your thoughts down below. I was really happy to finally break into this palette today. I feel like there's a lot of fun color combos you can do with this. Again, I really like the deeper mattes that they have in this palette. I feel like some of the tones are pretty unique. And yeah, I had a really good time playing with this. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the video. Thanks so much for checking it out and for spending your time with me. I hope you're having a wonderful 2026 so far, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!